At 5:15 hours local time, a tense piece of combat footage circulating online has drawn renewed attention to one of the most dangerous roles on the modern battlefield: the sniper. The video, presented by its distributors as showing a Ukrainian sniper preparing a surprise welcome for advancing Russian forces, offers a brief and highly compressed glimpse of a battlefield where concealment, patience, and observation can be as important as firepower. Small teams, often operating from concealed positions and supported by drones and other surveillance systems, have become an important part of efforts to disrupt Russian infantry movements and assaults. The footage arrives at a time when combat along the front remains intense, and both sides are increasingly relying on highly localized operations rather than the large armored breakthroughs that characterized some earlier phases of the Saints. War. A battlefield built around concealment. The defining feature of sniper warfare is not necessarily the shot itself. It is the ability to remain unseen long enough to create an opportunity. A sniper operating near an active front must contend with drones, thermal imaging, artillery observation, and increasingly dense surveillance. A position that might once have remained hidden for hours can now be exposed within minutes. That makes modern sniping a much broader task than simply firing a rifle. The operator must understand movement across the terrain, identify potential threats, communicate with other personnel, and relocate when necessary. The sniper may also contribute information that allows other weapon systems to engage a target. Recent reporting on Ukrainian special operations units illustrates how this broader role has developed. Ukrainian special forces have released footage from ground operations showing trench clearing, combat, and the capture of Russian personnel. In one operation reported this month in the Oleksandrivka direction, Ukrainian forces said that 30 Russian soldiers surrendered after their positions were overrun. The significance is not that a sniper alone can decide a battle. Rather, a concealed marksman can become one component of a larger reconnaissance and strike network. What the welcome footage appears to show. The clip circulating under the dramatic surprise welcome description is characteristic of the short combat videos that have become ubiquitous during the war. Such footage frequently provides only fragments of an engagement. A camera may show a concealed firing position, movement in the distance, a sudden exchange of fire, and then the video may end. Without the surrounding operational context, viewers cannot reliably determine what happened before or after the recorded sequence.
Быстрее, быстрее, мужики, выходи!
Military footage is frequently edited before publication. Information that could reveal a unit's location, equipment, or tactics may be removed. Conversely, captions can add claims that are impossible to establish from the images themselves. For that reason, descriptions such as Russian forces walked directly into a sniper ambush should not automatically be treated as independently confirmed facts simply because they accompany a video.
Сука, горяча. Ой-ой-ой. Раз, сука.
The broader phenomenon, however, is well documented. Ukrainian special operations personnel have repeatedly used precision fire against Russian positions and assault groups. In one previously reported engagement, Ukrainian special operations snipers were credited with helping repel a Russian assault in the Zaporizhia sector.
Контроль 12!
The war has increasingly demonstrated that relatively small teams can have effects disproportionate to their size. Drones have transformed battlefield observation. They can identify movement, monitor trenches, and provide commanders with a near real-time picture of local activity. Snipers and other small teams can then operate within that information environment. A Russian infantry group moving through an exposed area may be watched by a drone operator. Its location can be passed to nearby troops. A sniper may observe the same movement from concealment. Artillery, mortars, or drones may become available depending on the circumstances. The result is a battlefield in which simply avoiding one threat does not necessarily mean escaping another. The same technological transformation has also made survival more difficult for the sniper. Camouflage remains important, but it is no longer sufficient by itself. Thermal sensors can detect heat signatures. Small drones can search areas that would previously have been difficult to observe. Artillery can respond rapidly to suspected firing positions. Consequently, a sniper's greatest advantage may still be time, the ability to wait, observe, and choose when not to shoot. Since the beginning of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, battlefield footage has become a major component of the conflict's information environment. Units publish videos to demonstrate battlefield successes, raise morale, document operations, and influence audiences far beyond the front. Ukrainian and Russian military organizations alike have used footage for these purposes. Some Ukrainian drone units, for example, have built entire media ecosystems around short clips of battlefield strikes. Recent reporting has highlighted the controversial way some Ukrainian formations edit and distribute such footage as psychological warfare intended to affect both Russian troops and potential recruits. A few seconds of footage can be turned into a dramatic narrative: the hidden marksman, the unsuspecting patrol, and the sudden appearance of danger. The front lines in Ukraine are among the most heavily surveilled and simultaneously most difficult environments for independent journalists to access. A clip may be old but reposted as new. It may have been filmed in a different sector. The uniforms or equipment may be insufficient to establish the identity of the troops. An edited sequence can also remove events that would substantially change the interpretation of what happened. Recent reporting has repeatedly emphasized the difficulty of independently verifying battlefield claims. Even footage that appears straightforward can leave important questions about when and where it was recorded. That does not make combat footage useless. On the contrary, such material can provide valuable evidence and insight when examined alongside satellite imagery, geolocation, official statements, independent reporting, and other sources. The distinction is between what the camera appears to show and what someone claims the camera proves. The persistence of snipers may seem surprising in an era dominated by drones. In reality, the two capabilities can complement one another. A drone provides an elevated perspective and can search large areas. A sniper provides a human observer who can interpret a situation at ground level and make decisions within the constraints of a particular mission. Neither capability makes the other obsolete. Other footage from Ukrainian special operations has shown precision fire being used against Russian personnel and equipment. In one reported case published earlier this year, a Ukrainian special operations sniper was credited with disabling 2 armored vehicles from a concealed position. These episodes illustrate an important point. The modern sniper is not simply an infantry soldier with a more accurate rifle. The role increasingly exists inside a network of sensors, communications, and precision weapons. For soldiers on the ground, however, the psychological impact of a sniper can remain considerable. An unseen threat changes behavior. Troops may move more slowly, avoid exposed routes, seek cover more frequently, or become reluctant to remain in predictable positions. Even when a sniper does not fire, uncertainty can impose a cost. This is one reason sniper warfare has historically had an influence beyond the number of casualties inflicted. In Ukraine, that psychological dimension is amplified by the constant presence of drones. A soldier may know that he is potentially being observed from above, while simultaneously worrying that another threat is watching from a concealed position nearby. The battlefield becomes a contest over information as much as territory. The footage also arrives against the backdrop of a war that remains highly fluid. In August 2026, Russia has continued to claim territorial gains in southeastern Ukraine. Reuters reported this month that Russia's defense ministry said Russian forces had captured 19 settlements in Dnipropetrovsk and Zaporizhia during its summer campaign, though those claims were not independently verified. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, meanwhile, has claimed substantial Ukrainian territorial gains elsewhere along the southeastern front. Those competing claims underline the difficulty of understanding the battlefield through isolated videos. A single sniper engagement can be dramatic without necessarily indicating a major operational development. The significance of such footage lies instead in what it reveals about the character of the fighting: increasingly dispersed forces, intensive surveillance, precision attacks, and a growing dependence on small units capable of acting quickly in contested terrain. The phrase "surprise welcome" makes for a striking headline, but the reality behind these videos is considerably more complicated. There is no indication from the available reporting that one sniper, by himself, represents a decisive shift in the war. Nor can the circulating footage alone establish exactly how many Russian personnel were involved, what happened afterward, or whether the event occurred where its distributors claim.